Welcome to Marvelicious Toys. We bring you news and reviews of Marvel toys, statues, and more. Because not all Marvel collections can be bagged and boarded. They're not just toys, they're Marvelicious.
We did indeed drive down to New Orleans about 9 hours each way.
It was 12 hours each way, dear.
Oh, yeah, well.
There's a 3-hour blackout each way.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we did all that for Wizard World New Orleans. And Wizard World, they're exploding all over the place. If you're in the States, the odds are there's a Wizard World near you. There's two near us. St. Louis we always hit. Chicago, of course, their flagship show we always hit. But we did this one for Marjorie because Chris Evans was there. He was signing. He was doing photo ops. They did a panel. I mean, there was everybody there. The Russo brothers, Anthony Mackie,
Frank Grillo,
Crossbones, yeah, and Haley Atwell, Agent Carter.
It was pretty damn exciting to have everyone, although I wish they would have gotten Sebastian Stan, because then it would have been perfect. They would have everyone that is important there. But it's still really good because Chris Evans was there. I'm not complaining, don't get me wrong. And, you know, I don't know if you've been to a Wizard World at all and had to deal with, you know, last few times we've gone and done photo ops and autographs, we've gotten VIP tickets because it's a little easier. And even then, we're spending 2 to 4 hours in line sometimes for autographs and then photo ops, and that's separate, not combined.
I did the Jeremy Renner VIP last time in Chicago, as I've talked about, with that horrible, awkward photograph. And I did stand in line the entire day. It took my entire Saturday to get his autograph and get his photo, and that was with VIP.
Damn.
So I convinced Arnie to pony up for the Chris Evans VIP, thinking, okay, it'll be a little bit better if I did this versus standing in the general admission line, which actually was Chris Evans. The only way to get an autograph in person was to get the gold VIP or the platinum VIP.
They did have a lottery system that I entered, and I did win the lottery, so I could have gotten more. But because you got the gold VIP, the platinum VIP got you everybody's signature. Haley Atwell, all down the line, and then a group photo. But you actually didn't want the group photo. You just wanted you with Chris Evans.
I really didn't care about the others, I'll be honest. I already have an Anthony Mackie photo with Sebastian Stan. Totally fine with that. He's a funny guy, so I don't mind that he's in the photo, and he seems like he's just a lot of fun. Would have rather had Sebastian Stan, but it's okay.
It actually all worked out, though. I mean,
it was a magical day. I've never had such a magical day at a convention. Have you, Arnie?
Not since maybe Celebration 2 back in 2002.
Yeah, I mean, got our tickets. So we went up and got in line for the panel that they were having. Because, you know, panels, most of the time you have to spend like hours waiting in line to get in. So we were pretty close to the front. They were letting the platinums in first and then the golds. A friend of ours had one ticket extra to get into the platinum line. We're like, no, that's okay because we want to go together. Well, someone happened to be walking by and said, hey, do you want a platinum ticket? I'm like, sure. But he went for my husband, and the person behind her said, here, have mine. I have an extra. So we both got into the first seating, which means we were on the floor and about, 30 feet away from everybody?
Yeah, it was great photo taking opportunity there.
Fantastic seats. It was marvelous. So thank you, kind strangers, for that. So then, you know, as the panel's wrapping up, I whispered to Arnie, I said, hey, you know, we should probably get out of here really quick because everyone's going to make a crush to the door. Then I can go get in the Chris Evans autograph line because the panel ended at 10:30 and the autograph started at 11. So we left maybe 5 minutes early?
Yeah, 10.
Beat the crowd. There was only one cowl row in front of me of the gold VIPs, but then the platinums go first. Got the autograph done in record time. He is very dreamy in person, isn't he, Arnie? He's a good-looking man. You have to admit that.
I got to talk to him about Scott Pilgrim, which I think he enjoyed. You know, everybody's there talking Captain America, and I'm like, you know, Scott Pilgrim. More people need to see Scott Pilgrim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he actually stopped and leaned back and goes, that was a great movie, wasn't it?
He's not wrong.
No, he's not. And he seemed kind of like, wow, somebody's talking to me about this.
You got your FX Collectibles shield sign.
Well, I think that's nice that you're calling it mine because there had been an ownership debate in the house for quite a while over whose shield it actually was. Because the pictures you posted of back when it came in, you're like, oh, look, Marjorie thinks she has a new shield. So I think it's definitely mine. I got him to sign it. He signed it and the white star in the middle with his signature and put cap on it. Very nice. And he's a really nice man. He dresses in a grandpa sweater. He had a nice, cable knit cardigan on with the big buttons and the big collar like you'd expect for a grandpa.
Now, given that the FX Collectibles shield was a limited edition and an expensive replica, I kind of thought we might be one of the only ones there. I think like almost every FX Collectibles shield that was ever made was in this line.
Yes.
Everybody had that tote bag.
You found the 200 people that bought that limited edition.
Yeah, they were all there. And then while we're in line for the panel, I was talking to some guy who wanted to see the shield because he's like, I've never seen one in person. Do you mind showing it to me? So I showed it to him, and then he told me about another shield that was made from the same mold as the one they used in the movie.
All right, here's what happened. Marjorie got grifted. I don't know what this guy had or if he was just foolish, but he was telling us that he was getting signed a shield by a company called Cat Toys. I'm like, Cat Toys? Is it like tiny and does it squeak? But no, it's actually a full-sized replica. What he told us was this company made the props for the movie and that they were allowed to make like 500 extra and sell them. And they sold out in a blink, but they were available on eBay, and he got one from a friend of his at retail because his friend needed some money, so he got it for the 300 that it cost at retail. I'm like, well, actual, from the production model, I'm interested in that. So I hit eBay and I look, and I find them all over from China, 200 shipped. So I'm like, all right, Marjorie says she wanted one, so I order it. Yeah, this is not the prop that was used in the movie. This is not from the same company. This is a well-painted, nice-looking plastic shield.
It is very shiny, but it is not a fantastic shield.
Compared to the FX one, which is a prop replica and a good 3/4 of an inch thick, this one is about 1/8 of an inch thick, and the plastic on the inside reminds me, honestly, of one of the Hasbro discs.
Could it be one of the ones that they threw in the movie?
It could be, but I can't find anything that says Cat Toys actually made the shields for the movie. Now, this is made of ABS, so it's, a kind of plastic. It is a great looking shield, though. If you want an inexpensive replica shield, it's not perfectly accurate. They've done a couple different versions, on the one we have, which is the first version, the star protrudes a little bit. On the second one, the star is more recessed. They also have a comic book version. I love the metallic paint job it has, but once you have a King Arts and an FX, it's kind of like, okay. If Marjorie ever wanted to, carry one around, it's certainly a good beater shield, but it's a nice replica for 200. It doesn't come with any stand, any mounts or anything.
It's an everyday shield replica.
Yeah, it's your casual shield.
The one thing I like is our friend Taryn, who offered us the platinum ticket. He also was getting his FX Collectible shield signed, and he told us that he was posing with his, and one of the rivets came out of the leather because the shield's so heavy. And so what I like about this is if you did just want a shield to carry around or something, it's so lightweight that the leather straps on the inside are certainly going to hold it real well. But Marjorie's posed with her FX shield several times now, including with Chris Evans at the con, and no popped rivets.
No, I did haul that out, which again, we went from the autograph line. You got Jeremy Renner redo.
I did, and I almost forgot to smile again. I don't know what it is. I get up to Jeremy Renner, and I'm just like...
It's because you think the rumors are is that he's kind of a jerk, but he actually is really nice with people. I mean, twice now I've interacted with Arnie, with him, and he's very nice, and he does have to wear readers, so he's got some eye issues, apparently, and he would take them off and talk to people and then put them back on so he could see what he was doing. I mean, he was a nice guy.
Yeah, he was nice.
He just crashes weddings, apparently, to drink the free liquor.
We chatted a little bit as he signed my Age of Ultron Blu-ray cover, and I got in there and I got the photo op, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm forgetting to smile again. And so I try to smile and it came off really weird, but the photo looked good. This time the person taking it actually waited for the smile to be at the right position. So I have corrected that wrong.
And I don't know if this is the same company that was doing the photo ops in Chicago or anyplace else we've been, but we got in line for the Chris Evans photo op as soon as they let us do it. which I think, again, was fortuitous because we got through that in record time, way quicker than I did for Sebastian Stan in Chicago.
I was really worried because Marjorie wanted to do a duo. We got 2 photo ops with Captain America, one with just her and her idol, and one with me photobombing.
I would say he's my idol.
Your favorite Avenger?
He is the best Avenger, and I challenge thee on that, but go ahead.
But his photo op was at 2. Jeremy Renner's was at 2:30. I was really nervous if I was going to be able to get into the Renner line and still get through the Evans line, but it worked out real well. I happened to get in the Renner line just as the last of the Renner VIPs were going through, so I had no waiting.
Oh, wow.
Well, this time for the photo ops, I don't know if it's a new company that was doing it, but there was a very loud woman who ended up being the photographer walking up and down the aisles of people lined up talking about the rules, which were no running and jumping into the guest's arms. Okay, I get that. Maybe someone got hurt sometime. And no touching the guest below the waist.
This is boxing?
I'm guessing that at some point, both of these things have happened enough times that they have to make a rule about it to tell people about it and also post it inside when you get up to the photo op thing. Is that crazy? I mean, that means somebody's grabbing some star's junk.
Repeatedly.
Yeah.
Enough that it becomes a rule.
Yeah. Or running and jumping into someone's arms. I mean, come on.
It's cute when it's a 5-year-old. It's not so cute when it's...
When a 50-year-old woman. Yeah, it was pretty magical. We are actually done with everything by like 2:35.
Yeah, it was magical except for the shopping. Wow. I think the reason we had such an easy time of this, it is a small Wizard World. It's almost St. Louis small. St. Louis is a little bit smaller. I think that, I mean, again, I had to wait all day for Renner in Chicago. Here, there were a lot less people. The exhibit floor, it took us a half an hour to do it. And if Dorkside Toys hadn't been there, I'd have walked away with nothing.
Whoa.
They were there. They had the newest wave of Marvel Universe. I was able to stock up on some 3 3/4 inch Chameleon figures and get some of the latest Funko Pops and things. But that was my only shopping at the con.
Yeah, they had the usual people, which I guess it's just, you know, they're selling booth space and maybe trying to try different things. There apparently is a LASIK surgery booth that travels to all the Wizard Worlds. Which is kind of scary that you'd make that kind of decision. Oh, I'm going to get LASIK surgery, honey. I'll just sign up for it right now. You go buy your comic books.
Sugar gliders.
Yeah, which are little flying squirrels. Super cute. But how much are you traumatizing these animals, first of all, at the convention? And 2, how many people are buying these? But again, they're $600, which is crazy. And then deciding they don't want it when they get home or gets eaten by a dog or a cat. I mean, they're like little hamster-sized things.
Well, and how many people fly to a convention and they're not going to be able to get their sugar glider on the plane?
I don't think a whole lot of people fly to Wizard Worlds, you know, because there's always one in your backyard.
But this one was big because of Evans.
I was surprised that there are actually vendors, though, who just appear to tour with them, because there are some vendors I see in St. Louis and I see them again in Chicago, and that kind of makes sense to me because we're all in the Midwest. But to see him in New Orleans made me realize there's like this one guy who sells bootleg DVDs and Marvel Legends that are excessively overpriced and he won't negotiate. So I know him because he has a $400 Deadpool Legend, that first Toy Biz release.
Yeah.
It's not worth anywhere near $400.
No, maybe at one point a long time ago, that might have been the height and one guy paid it, but no.
Yeah, so I know this guy, and he was down there in New Orleans. I'm like, wow, you just go from Wizard World to Wizard World, and enough people just don't look on eBay to compare prices that you actually make it worth it somehow? The con itself, I can't say was worth going to other than the celebrities, but it was a great time. We did get everything we wanted to done. I got to meet and talk to the Russo brothers. That was really awesome. They were signing for free, and we got in their line. We were like some of the last people in their line, and Marjorie got up there and started saying how I'm a Iron Man fan, she's a Cap fan, and they just kind of looked at us and said, well, you guys are going to have a very uncomfortable date night then this spring.
Yeah, that's coming up, isn't it?
It is. I told him. Marjorie said that they made the best Avengers movie so far with Winter Soldier. I went, yeah, so no pressure with anything coming up or anything. They gotta laugh at that. And they were giving away Civil War posters. I think this is the first official Civil War merch they had. There was this nice high gloss cardstock Civil War poster. I got them both to sign it.
Wow.
And yeah, that they were taking time to chat with people and things. They're going to be in Cleveland too. So if you're near Cleveland, go to Wizard World Cleveland in a few weeks and maybe you get a chance to chat with them. Chris Evans isn't there, Jeremy Renner isn't there, but the Russo brothers were kind of the high point of the con for me. And they didn't charge for autographs. They didn't charge for pictures.
They were just having fun. They were actually pretty funny. They moderated the panel in the morning, and they kind of kept everyone on their toes because it appears that this cast has a great relationship. Not so much like all of them together, but like it seems that Mackie is like the mouth of the group and keeps everyone on their toes. And him and Renner would go back and forth, and they would give Grillo some, you know.
The only one who didn't seem to be partaking was Renner, who's just like, what is this?
He kind of like would go back and forth with Mackie a little bit.
A little bit, but like when one of the questions came and said, which superpower would you like of your heroes to have? And Chris Evans was like, his heart, and Jeremy Renner's like, none of it. What am I going to do? Go around and shoot people?
Thanks for watching this video. You can see full episodes of Marvelicious Toys with more collecting news and reviews at marvelicioustoys.com. We also have thousands of toy and collectible photos in our photo gallery. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, make mine Marvelicious.